Alright, we got 10 or 11 areas to watch in the Pacific and about 2 areas to watch in the Atlantic. Let's get started. First of all, we have 3 active storms that are typhoons or hurricanes or tropical storms. Plus, we do have an area that has dissipated off of Taiwan. We have a tropical storm over here near Laos and Vietnam. We have monster typhoon over here. We have a weakening system way up here to the north. We have a tropical storm to the southwest of Hawaii. An area down here to watch. If we come here to the eastern side of the basin, we have a tropical storm and tropical depression and a tropical storm. We have 4 different highlighted areas, and that's just getting started. So let's run this out real quick. Starting off, we have Tropical Storm Isel, which is over here in the Eastern Pacific. Right now, the Eastern Pacific only has one named storm. Over here in the Central Pacific, we have 2 named storms. We have Lala up here and Tropical Depression Moke, which is downgraded from a tropical storm. This storm wasn't as bad as originally thought. That is good news, because Lalo is pretty bad. If we run this out, you can see one of our highlighted areas is just to the southwest of what is Isel right now, and is expected to pull up into Isel. And then we're also watching another area behind that, and I believe over here to the west, there's a small chance of an area to develop. And then the last highlight is this area here, which could become another named storm. And it does spin up another storm behind that. A little bit more detail of a picture here. You can kind of see those two interact. And this storm actually really spins it up. And then here's the other areas that the NHC has highlighted. Right now, I don't really see an impact to land, but the GFS, of course, does GFS things and takes it right up into land. So, you know, storms do their storms thing. Alright, running out our Western Pacific with our AI model here. You can see Lalo eventually moves beyond Midway Island, which is about right here. And that will be in Western Pacific, probably as just a tropical storm. This one will die out and will probably be post-tropical or so by the end of the week. But this storm is moving extremely slowly and will continue to just meander out there for the next couple of days. So Adele is expected to impact the southern Japanese islands in about the exact same spot that Dolphin came through. And then it's going to take a turn to the southwest after that, and it could make an impact just north of Taiwan in China. So Taiwan will probably get impacts there. I think this run is a little bit rogue. There is also another area maybe we'll get something spinning out there, but our other area to really watch is this area that will be spinning out here. And it'll probably move generally to the north. It could move back to the west and then back to the north. We'll have to watch that. And then another interesting signal is something coming from the Central Pacific and moving almost immediately into the Western Pacific. If this is all confusing to you, let me confuse you a little bit more, or give you some clarity depending on how you take it. Like here, is this actually... Okay, this is actually Sawdell. This does actually give it a chance to, like, reform in the South China Sea. That's interesting. And here's a signal to the east of Taiwan later on. This out here is our main area that could be forming out here. And then it could take the turn to the west after that. And then most of the ensembles take it back off to the north. We're also going to have, a couple signals to the east of the Philippines, and we have a ton of signals in Eastern Pacific. If we look just about a week out, you can see we have so many areas to watch. Right now we have this area, again, that will be pulled up toward Isel, which is supposed to be a Cat 1 according to the Google Weather Lab. I honestly don't think so, but it could. and that would be rather quick-lived. And then here's our high chance storm system for development, and that one would not impact any land. Here's our low chance storm system, which is like next week or something, and then here's our system to the west. Also, an area I think they will highlight soon is a signal I've been watching for a while to the southwest of Hawaii, which could become a more powerful storm and move into the western Pacific. Alright, finally, moving over here to the Atlantic, we have a couple areas to watch. Invest 95L shouldn't be any threat to land, luckily. But then we're going to be watching this low pressure area, which is a tropical wave that is moving off of Africa, which has a chance to develop a little bit early, but I think it will take its time and maybe develop further west, if any development whatsoever. And after that, we are going to also watch this thing probably take itself out to sea. There is a concerning signal I do want to cover real quick. There is a little signal for something to maybe form in the Gulf. That is going to be my first warning here. So be aware on the Gulf Coast, as we do have some ensembles picking up on something or whatever in the Gulf. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow.